Hi there everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I made this really cute, quick and simple jungle themed nappy cake. To make our nappy cake today, these are the items that I'm going to be using. I've obviously got 26 nappies, I've got some raffia, I've got a hot glue gun, I've got some burlap and I've got a ribbon, I've got some little clear elastic bands, 4 toilet tubes, I've got a flannel, I've got a cute little monkey, I've got a circle which I've cut out of cardboard which is 10 inches in diameter, but you could also use a cake board, and we've got some sellotape. First things first, what we're going to make is we're going to make the pole that's going to look like a tree. For that, we're going to need our toilet tubes, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the toilet tubes and we're just going to sellotape them together to make kind of tree shape, and we're just going to put a couple of pieces of sellotape around the outside. We don't need to go mad because we're going to cover this in the raffia in a moment. Now we've got all our tubes secured together, this is going to resemble our tree trunk, and we're going to make this into like a bamboo tree, and we're going to do that by using the raffia. So we're literally going to untangle this and we're going to start gluing the raffia onto the cardboard tubes using our glue gun, and that's going to give us a mega effect to look like a tree. Now we have our raffia open, what we're going to do is we're going to separate it into strands like that, and what we're going to start by doing is by just securing a tiny bit of hot glue across the bottom. Be careful not to get burnt, but we're just going to place that in and allow it to start sitting, and once that's dried we're just going to pop a bit of hot glue along the bottom because this is going to be our starting part. And then we're just going to wrap the raffia, securing it down with the hot glue. And then we're just going to keep on winding, and periodically we're just going to pop a bit more hot glue onto there. This will just help it keep sticking all the way around. We don't want to see, ideally we don't want to see any gaps and don't want to see any part of the toilet tube. We're just going to keep going all the way around. When you've come to the part where your raffia strand has come to an end, all we're going to do is secure that bit down like so, and then just get the next piece, and then we're just going to continue as we was before. Once you get to the top of the first toilet tube, we're just going to literally keep doing what we was doing and just keep wrapping it round, and this will help secure both of the tubes together, and then you won't even notice that there's a join in there. We're just going to keep on wrapping it around and it will help secure the tubes together. And now we're just going to continue wrapping the raffia all the way around the tubes until all of the tube is covered in the raffia. Once you've completed that, this is what you should be left with, and as you can see it does resemble a tree trunk, and we're going to use that later on in our nappy cake, so we can just set that part aside now. Now we're on to the rolling nappies. In the nappy cake that I trialled I used 26 nappies, so I've used size 2 nappies. They're just Asda's Little Angels nappies, but you could use any brand of nappy that you want. And here I've got some really tiny clear elastic bands, and that's what I'm going to use to wrap around the nappies. What we're going to do is we're going to take the nappy, we're going to lay it down flat, and I like to roll to get this side inside it so it makes it look less messy and the outer bit looks neater. And as you can see there's already kind of like a yellow band around the middle, so we're going to use that as a bit of a guide, and we're just going to pop our elastic bands around it like that, and then you barely even notice them. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat this process for about 26 times, and then we're ready to start assembling our nappy cake. Now we've got all our nappies rolled up, we're now ready to start assembling the base of the nappy cake. I'm now going to use my circle, and like I said this is a 10-inch circle, and you can use a cake board, and some cake boards now come in some really funky colours, so you could use one of those if you wish, or you could just use a template like this made out of cardboard and just cover it in foil. That would work equally as well, but today we're not going to bother, we're just going to leave it as it is. And one thing that I did forget, I've got a super sized elastic band, and I'm going to use that to try and secure all my nappies into a circle. So I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to start by standing up my nappies, and we're going to try and build an outer circle. This bit can get a little bit tricky, but hopefully when we've got enough in the elastic band it'll start holding them a bit better. And I want to try and do an outer layer first. Once we've got them all in the elastic band we can mess around and rejig them all about. That's not going to be a problem. So there we have all the nappies in initially. So now I'm just going to turn them around a little bit and try and make them all look a bit neater on the outside, so we've got smooth edges. And we have got a bit of a gap, but that's fine, because what we're going to do is the tree trunk that we made earlier, we're going to stand that inside there and the nappies are going to hug it. So I have got about 26 nappies in the base of my nappy cake, as well as the toilet tubes that's covered in raffia to make my tree stump, and I think that's a nice amount. To make the outside of our nappy cake look a little bit neater, I'm now going to take my piece of burlap and I'm going to take my ribbon. I've got some ribbon that just says it's a boy. You could get ribbon that says it's a girl, congratulations, anything you like. We're going to cut a piece of our burlap. We don't need to worry about it being too neat because it does want to have a bit of a rustic, jungly theme to it. And I'm now just going to cut along the edge all the way across. It doesn't even have to be perfect. Now we have our cut piece of burlap. I did trim this down from when I started cutting it because it was too thick for the nappy cake. So I've trimmed it down slightly, and now we're going to take that and I'm going to wrap it around the outer edge of the cake like so. Where it overlaps at the back, we're just going to pop on some hot glue and we're going to secure that down. We want to pull it quite tight because we want it to hold all of our nappies in. We're just going to glue that down. With my It's a Boy ribbon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a length of the ribbon, and I'm also going to wrap that around, placing it on top of the burlap. I'm going to cut a little bit extra, so I've got a small amount that I can overlap. Again, we're going to pull that quite tight because we don't want it to slip down. And again, using the hot glue, we're just going to secure that. And this is how our nappy cake is looking so far. It's starting to come together. So now what we need to do is the few finishing touches. So we're going to take our green flannel. Once we've removed the tag from the flannel, what we're going to do is we're going to fold up the flannel, and then we're going to fold it in half. So once we've got the folded point, we're going to take this point and we're going to hold that, and we're going to pop this part now into the toilet tube like so. And we're going to squash it in, and then we're going to allow the flannel to open. So basically it's going to create us like a palm tree look, like that. So that's how we're looking now with a flannel on the top. And for the finishing touches, what we're going to do is we're going to pop on our cute monkey. And there you have your super cute jungle themed nappy cake. These really are super easy to make and just make a lovely little gift that's just that little bit different if you're going to a baby shower or if you're presenting it to a mum who's just had a baby. You didn't need to use a monkey. You could use any jungle animal of your choice, but I just saw the monkeys on Amazon and I just thought they were super cute, and so that's the one that I chose. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I will link below in the description all the materials that I've used today and where I purchased them from to help you out, and I really hope that you feel that you might give this one a go. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.